Eala's amazing player, and I think it's going to be a very tough match.
The stadium camera stays on Eala's face for a 4-second beat that the rest of her summer is going to be built around.
It is really key in these types of matches when you're playing players of her caliber.
She walks to the baseline with no rush, no audible exhale, just a small reset of her feet and a calm adjustment of the strings. From that moment, she breaks Zheng back at love. Then she holds. Then she breaks again to take the set. By the time the scoreboard stops moving, Eala has won 7 consecutive games. The second set is hers, and the decider opens with a commanding 4-0 lead. The match ends 4-6, 6-4, 6-1 after 2 hours and 26 minutes. One match. One quote. One door pushed open. Tonight, we walk through it. Tough match. She's known to be a fighter with a really good mentality on court. On one side of the net stood Zheng Qinwen, the Paris Olympic gold medalist, former world number 4, and currently ranked number 123 as she continues her comeback from elbow surgery and a reported wrist procedure earlier in the year. She had played a WTA 250 event in Athens the previous week specifically to shake off match rust, and on media day she admitted that the only part of her comeback she still could not fully train was the mental side that only returns through real competition. On the other side stood 21-year-old Alex Eala from Manila, who had reached a career-high ranking of number 28 just 3 weeks earlier after becoming the first Filipino player, male or female, to reach the 4th round at Wimbledon. Zheng was climbing back toward her peak. Eala was rising toward hers. Their paths collided inside a packed 7,000-seat stadium in Washington, D.C. Their previous meeting came at the 2023 Hangzhou Asian Games, where Zheng won in 3 sets. But this was not simply another rematch. It was a collision between 2 players whose best tennis now belongs in the same conversations. The question surrounding Eala for the past 20 months has never been whether she possesses the talent. Her ranking already answered that. The real question has been whether she is merely capable of producing unforgettable Grand Slam moments or whether she is becoming a true Grand Slam player, someone who belongs among the seeds, who consistently reaches the second week, who earns respect before the first ball is struck. That difference is not sentimental. It is measured in prize money, seeding positions, sponsorship opportunities, and reputation. It is the difference between walking into the locker room looking up at the biggest names or walking in and watching those names look up at you. Last season, that answer remained uncertain. Breakthroughs become stories. Stories become expectations. Expectations can become ceilings when players repeatedly lose to the elite names standing one step above them. Zheng Qinwen was supposed to be one of those names. Not because she had declined, she had not. Olympic gold does not lose its value because injuries interrupt momentum. She was simply navigating the hardest phase of any champion's comeback, rebuilding confidence through competition. Zheng herself admitted it on media day. After I came back from injury, the biggest challenge for me actually is the mind. The body and fitness can recover, but the mind only comes back during matches. Eala did not step onto that court to beat a wounded champion. She stepped onto it to discover whether the version of herself she had been building since Wimbledon could stand against an opponent with greater achievements, more experience, and every reason to believe the moment still belonged to her. Losing the opening set could easily have answered that question negatively. Instead, the second set provided the answer. On paper, the final score looks routine, 4-6, 6-4, 6-1. It resembles the kind of result that disappears into tournament statistics. But the numbers hide the exact moment everything changed. At 4-3 in the second set, Zheng broke Eala at love with ruthless efficiency. It was the type of game that reminds any young player how unforgiving this level can be. Moments later, the broadcast camera returned to Eala during the changeover. She was not panicking. She was not rushing. She was not speaking to her coaching box. She simply stood, gathered herself, and returned to work. She immediately broke Zheng back at love. Then she held serve. Then she broke again to claim the second set 6-4. She opened the deciding set by racing to a 4-0 lead before Zheng finally halted the run at 4-1. 7 consecutive games against an Olympic champion. That is more than a streak. It is evidence. A player capable of absorbing a love break and instantly responding the same way has moved beyond surviving at this level. She belongs here. The lesson was never about hitting the ball harder. It was about refusing to let 4 difficult minutes define an entire career. Eala later reflected on that crucial exchange with remarkable simplicity. I definitely think it helped. Maybe if I hadn't gotten that break, who knows? Maybe it would have been too big of a gap. You never know in tennis, but that definitely helped me. She never claimed it was luck. She simply accepted the opportunity and seized it. Later, during her post-match interview, she delivered an 8-word response that quickly became the defining quote of the night. Before we reach that moment, there is one final collection of evidence worth considering. These numbers are quieter, reported with careful caution, but together they reveal whether Eala's rise is built on substance or coincidence. 3 weeks earlier at Wimbledon, she faced world number 3 Iga Swiatek in the 3rd round. A 5-time Grand Slam champion and former world number 1. Eala defeated her 7-6 in a dramatic 11-9 tiebreak before closing the match 6-2. That victory was not an isolated upset. It formed part of a stretch in which she won 4 of 5 matches, with her only defeat coming against Jasmine Paolini in the 4th round. Even that loss came by the narrowest margin, decided by a single service break at 3-2 in the final set. The run ended there, but it never fell apart. It simply reached its natural conclusion. What it did was rewrite her ranking. By July 13th, the WTA listed Alex Eala at a career-high number 28, and she carried that position into Washington. Sitting inside the top 32 places her comfortably within the protected seeding range for every major North American event leading into the US Open. That matters because stronger seeding changes the path through a tournament. It delays potential meetings with the highest-ranked players and gives rising contenders a better opportunity to build momentum. This is how a season stops being a feel-good story and starts becoming a long-term structure. The numbers beneath the ranking tell an even deeper story. She entered Washington with 30 wins and 18 losses in 2026, more than $1.28 million in prize money, 42 matches played, a service hold percentage above 65%, a return games won percentage above 35%, and 56 aces. None of those statistics jumps off the page by itself. Together, they reveal something much more valuable: consistency. They show the level she now reaches almost every week regardless of the opponent standing across the net. According to pre-match analysis, Eala was undefeated in 2026 against opponents ranked outside the top 100. That statistic may not dominate headlines, but coaches notice it immediately. Elite players are expected to beat lower-ranked opponents, yet many fail to do so consistently. Eala has avoided those costly upsets. That reliability is often what convinces tournaments and analysts that a player belongs among the seeds rather than simply knocking on the door. After defeating Zheng Qinwen, Eala was asked how she stayed composed after surrendering a love break late in the 2nd set. Her answer became the defining quote of the night. "I think I've already had that in me. It's definitely a mindset. I've trained it, I've practiced it, and now I have more experience to apply that mindset at this level. My tennis has improved, and with that improvement comes more confidence. I have a little more ammunition to back it up." That was not arrogance. It was confidence built on evidence. A 21-year-old explaining how she recovered against an Olympic gold medalist by saying she had always possessed that resilience speaks volumes. She was no longer hoping she belonged at this level. She expected herself to compete there. Her quote also quietly answered the biggest question surrounding her career. For the past year, people wondered whether her breakthrough moments were temporary flashes or signs of something permanent. Eala's response suggested she no longer viewed them as surprises. She viewed them as the natural result of years of preparation. The official WTA recap reflected that same belief. Rather than focusing entirely on the upset itself, the tour highlighted Eala's own words. Editorial choices like that are subtle but meaningful. They signal that the tour is beginning to view her perspective as part of the story instead of simply reporting her results. Earlier this season, respected coach Paul Annacone, who worked with Roger Federer and Pete Sampras, publicly praised Eala's development. The praise mattered not because of the headline it created, but because of the details behind it. Coaches of that caliber recognize improvements in movement, decision-making, shot tolerance, and composure under pressure. When someone with Anacon's experience speaks positively about a young player's development, it reflects patterns that have been building over months rather than a single impressive performance. The North American hardcourt swing now becomes the most important stretch of Eala's season. Washington, Toronto, Cincinnati, and finally the US Open arrive in rapid succession. Every victory during those weeks has the potential to improve her seeding and reshape her draw in New York. Higher seeding is not simply about rankings. It changes opportunities. It changes expectations. It changes the quality of opponents a player faces during the opening week of a Grand Slam. Looking back over the past 18 months, the pattern becomes difficult to ignore. She became the first Filipina to reach a WTA final. Weeks later, she became the first Filipino player to reach the fourth round at Wimbledon. Now she has defeated an Olympic gold medalist on one of the biggest hardcourt stages before the US Open. These are not isolated breakthroughs. They are milestones arriving one after another. The reaction across the Philippines reflected that significance. Major sports outlets placed the victory prominently in their coverage, while tennis fans celebrated across social media. The excitement was genuine, though it is more accurate to describe it as passionate fan reaction than universal global shock. What stood out most was not surprise but belief. Increasingly, fans were writing that Eala looked like a player who understood exactly where she belonged. There was still unfinished business waiting for her. 3 weeks earlier, she had fallen to Jasmine Paolini in the fourth round at Wimbledon after pushing the match deep into a deciding set. Washington became her first opportunity to turn that disappointment into momentum. Awaiting her next was defending Washington champion Leylah Fernandez, another left-hander who had beaten Eala earlier in the season. The rematch promised another important measuring stick. When asked how she handles setbacks, Eala offered another simple but revealing answer. The only way to go forward is growth. There's always so much to learn. Every single day is a new battle. That mindset explains why her progress has accelerated so quickly. Only weeks earlier, Alex Eala walked onto centre court at Wimbledon and became the first Filipino player to reach the second week of the championships. Now she had walked into Washington and defeated an Olympic gold medalist after more than 2 hours of relentless tennis. The locker room she now enters includes Venus Williams, Naomi Osaka, Jessica Pegula, Leylah Fernandez, Zheng Qinwen, and many of the sport's biggest names. They are no longer distant stars. They are her competitors. When Eala said, "I've already had that in me," she revealed something more important than confidence. She revealed expectation. She no longer measures herself against the biggest names in tennis. She measures herself beside them. Zheng Qinwen will continue rebuilding after injury. Eala will continue chasing even greater milestones. Whether this victory becomes another stepping stone or the beginning of something even bigger will be decided over the coming weeks. But one thing has already changed. The next match is no longer about proving she belongs. It is about confirming what her performances have already made clear. The North American swing continues in Washington before moving to Toronto for the Canadian Open. The schedule has already been written. Now, Alex Eala is writing her place within it.